Okay, before we get started, I do want to say there's a tournament tomorrow. You should sign up for it. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's at Saturday at 8 p.m. CST, so please sign up in the description down below. Join the Discord, everything like that. We have some really good Japanese players signed up. Very excited about it. We have Melta-kun, who's an extremely good tank player. So this guy right here is in that tournament tomorrow, so y'all sign up. It'll be a lot of fun. But today we were looking at Toku Robo, or the new Toku Robo. If you don't know what Toku Robo is, it basically is a 20B gen midweight with an LRB. It's a very, very powerful build style that was used a lot in 1.06.1. Used to be Basho arms with Etsujin and LRB. It was actually an overloaded build, like arms overburden, which was really, really funny. But it worked really well because overburden, even if you're overburdened by a little bit, doesn't really matter that much in this game. It's kind of funny. But we have the new Toku Robo build, Trinity Lotus by Kawaii Yu-Yu-chan, who has taken it to top 3 on the leaderboard. We're going to check out the build today, explain why it works, and then we're going to do some games with it. So, I have the build right here. It's exactly the way it is on the leaderboard. So, I'm going to explain why exactly the build works, why it's so powerful. Ducket, as you all know, 1.07.1, is a really, really strong tool for building up stagger. Now, not really good for maintaining stagger, and it's very easy for lightweights to dodge it. But when Ducket hits, it fucking hits. This thing is very, very strong now. It is, I think, one of the top 5 weapons in the game. The caveat is if it hits. I think that this weapon is best paired with other weapons, especially ones that can maintain stagger, and that's why the laser orbit is here. Laser orbit, if you don't know, laser orbit was not used a lot in the competitive scene for a ton of time because it wasn't really that strong. Like, there wasn't really a weapon to pair with it. Laser orbit's whole niche is that it's really, really good at maintaining your stagger. Watch this. If I go to like 256, let's try this. This should not ricochet. Let's make sure. Yeah, see? Okay, ricochet, I was barely in range. But as you can see, it's kind of like a laser pistol that just like hovers on your back and shoots occasionally, which means it's really good for making it so your attitude recovery doesn't kick in. You can see this stat right here determines how fast your bar comes back whenever you get hurt. For example, let me stop hitting this guy, and you'll see that his stagger will reset after a little bit. That's your attitude recovery. Orbit's whole job is to make sure that never happens to your opponent. That you eventually get your stagger, which is really, really cool, honestly. It's a very cool way to, like, maintain stagger. It's something that I never thought about. And then we, of course, have the star of the show, LRB. This is what defines the Toku Robo, LRB plus 20B gen. This weapon just does stupid damage, 870 without stagger. And with stagger, I guess I'll put you away, 1308. Like, good lord, LRB does so much damage. It also has a really good tech. If you don't know, one of the reasons why LRB is so goddamn good is because you can half charge it. Watch this. So, when I press I'm going to click my mouse button. Watch this. You see how there's a little bit of delay where, like, my character, like, raises their arm up and then shoots? Well, if I charge the LRB, I can then just shoot it whenever I release the mouse. Watch, look. Mouse held, release. Which means what you can do, especially against players with shields, you can hold up the LRB, be like, haha, I'm going to shoot. Then you can charge it to delay it for a moment and then fire. You can choose when you want to fire the LRB, which is something that doesn't really happen with anything else like Zim. Oh my god, there. So with Zim, you can't do that. You just kind of have to like press it and then delay happens and then you shoot. You can't really like pick and choose when you want to fire your weapon. That's one of the reasons why LRB is so gosh darn scary. If LRB didn't have a charge effect, I legitimately think it would be a worse weapon, like much worse weapon. But because it has that, and you can fire instantly, it makes it really, really powerful. So then, of course, we have 61 PS. 61 PS is the best shield in the game. And we're playing Armored Sekiro. You need shields. Like, midweight biped with shield is the best way to make something kind of silly work, because that archetype is just so goddamn strong. And shields in general are just really strong. I mean, it's Armored Sekiro, homie. I wish they had just given us a shield slot, because shields are on, like, 90% of builds in the competitive scene. They're just really, really strong. So, we have something really interesting here. It's Mind Alpha Head. Now, Mind Alpha Head isn't really used a lot because, like, Mind Beta Head is right there, but Mind Beta Head does not have, like, really good AP and defenses like Mind Alpha does. The recent buffs in 1.01 really has expanded the head metagame. Like, I'm seeing a lot more, like, Alba Head. I'm seeing a lot more Knock Rider Head. I'm just seeing a lot more head diversity, which makes me really, really happy. Especially Mind Alpha, which might be up there with like VP44D and and what's it called? And like Varel and stuff like that. It might be one of the most like, used heads in the game now, which is really, really cool. So my Nova head, really good defenses, really good EN load. Like if you sort by EN load, which I have done right now, look at all of the heads below it. They're all kind of ass besides mine Beta, which, you know, doesn't have the defense, especially the energy defense. We just talked about how good LRB is. Kind of want to gouge energy defense, and Mind Alpha has some of the best in the game. So I think that's a really neat choice. Like, it used to be just run Ephemera head, but you can't do that here because you'll be overburdened. It's really quite neat. But that's just fucking dope, in my opinion. Anyway, then we have VE48 core. This is a no-brainer. This is going to be used on most, if not all, Toku Robos. Now, Toku Robo pre-patched used TQ core. In fact, let me show you how ugly the old Toku Robo was, so y'all can like appreciate how nice 1.07.1 was for just how like build fashion in general. I think it was Huxley. Actually, no, I think it was 3 p.m. Yeah, it was 3 p.m. And then I think it was it VP head? It might have been a different head. I forget. I think it was Melander. No, it wasn't Melander. Oh shoot, what was it? No, this is it. Yeah, I think this is it. Something like that. Let me make sure right now, real quick. Make sure this was old 1.06.1. But to be honest with you, gamers, I really didn't like how a lot of meta builds looked in 1.06.1. It was pretty dang bad. Let's see. Oh, Toku Robo was actually Varel head. That's what it was. I guess for Zims. Yeah, this is the old Toku Robo. So yeah, you can kind of see how the new Toku Robo looks infinitely better, and in my opinion, is much more fun to play. I actually did play a game of this because I recorded this whole video with my mic muted. First and last time I'm ever going to let that happen. But anyway, so we have VE48 core because it just has a ton of generator output adjustment. It's got really, really good AP. I believe best AP in the game. Let me make sure. Yes, it does have the best AP in the game. You just really, like, you love a VE48 core. This thing, I think it looks pretty cool. I wish it was a little bit smaller so it would look better on midweights, because this is, like, heavy core, midweight legs is what you're going to see a lot in competitive Armored Core 6. VE48 core, extremely fucking good, especially, again, at energy defense. This build has a goddamn lot of it. 1272 is a ton of energy defense. You are going to eat LRB shields alive, or at least you're going to try to. So then we have Melander C3 arms. This just has really good firearm spec for the load limit. As you can see, anything higher will have a lot more load limit, EN load limit. You want to keep that EN supply as high as possible. And then, like, yeah, Melander C3 is just perfect for this build. You can kind of run tool arms, but, like, look at your defenses. Like, no thank you. I would just go Melander C3. That firearm spec is juicy because when paired with Ocellus, you basically get pre-nerf Ocellus, which is quite nice. You know, pre-nerf Ocellus, kind of a huge meta-defining thing, so getting it back by running Melander C3 arms instead of Basho, pretty damn good. Then we have VP422 legs. These are almost always used on midweight bipeds because you can run a heavy core and just barely have enough for 75k. If you don't know 75k is a speed breakpoint, how your speed works in this game is that there's a breakpoint at like 75k and then like a breakpoint at like 90k, I think. I actually don't really know where the breakpoints are, but 75k is an extremely important breakpoint that almost every builder wants to hit. So if you go like 76k, you'll see a kind of noticeable drop off in speed. You kind of want to get to 75k. If you're below 75k, you're like, I've got 1,000 weight to work with. You know what I mean? Then we have SPD. This build kind of plays like a kite almost. As you can see, it's got 345 boost speed, which is kind of a lot. Kind of a fuck ton even. So that 345 boost speed is going to help you catch up to like lightweight rifle kites or some like heavyweight builds that live in AB. Something like Power Baka 20 that just lives on P10 booster and never gets off it and just goes. So if it ever tries to run away from you, you'll be able to, you know, catch up to them because you have 345 boost speed and your AB speed is, let me check. Your crew's AB speed is like 469, something like that. So pretty damn fast for a build this tanky, which is kind of just how it works a lot in Armored Core 6, is that you want your build to be fast, you want to be tanky. This is why lightweights don't really do super well. There are builds that are coming across that, like basically if you want to be a lightweight player in this game, the goal is to never, ever get hit. Check out the last video I did on this channel about the Neo statue, the Basho Core Lightweight. That is an example of a build that just never wants to get touched, ever. And that's kind of how lightweights work in this game. Because when you don't have defenses and all you have is speed, you got to use that speed. But midweights are so fun because they have both speed and defenses, so you can brawl and you can kite. It's really, really fun. And Toku Robo is a perfect example of that. So then we have Hutassa, as I said before. We all we care about is close range. So just get close to your opponent, shoot the ducket, shoot the LRB, kill them, have a good time. Then we have VE20B. This is the star of the show. This is what's going to be powering your LRB. You're going to do a shit ton of damage, and that's the whole point. Now, with VE20B, your post-recovery Ian Spy is only 800. It's actually a really bad generator. All you care about is the firearm spec. So, because of that, you basically never want a red line, because your red line is going to be a long, long time waiting. Check this out. Yeah, it's not great, is it? So the hope is to, like, AB towards your opponent. You know, maybe do some shuffling, stuff like that. And then you wait, and then you get your energy back while you're shooting at them. That's kind of the idea with VE20B builds, is that you never want a red line ever on these things, so you get punished pretty hard. It's kind of like playing a Hokushi build, like an Akushi lightweight rifle kite. If you've played those before, and you're used to not redlining, you're going to enjoy this build. Then we have Pulse Armor, because of course we do. If you're not running a melee build, and if you're not running anything with like Laser Dagger or anything like that, you're running Pulse Armor. Assault Armor is kind of just used on gimmick builds. Melee isn't really a gimmick, and it's the only real like use case, but even then, you still kind of want to have Pulse Armor. This is because when you first get staggered, you can save your entire life with Pulse Armor. If, let's say, your opponent's running like a Pow Bunker, or if they're running like a really high damaging setup that's going to one-shot you when they first get the stagger, you have Pulse Armor to back you up. You get a second life because of Pulse Armor. That's why this thing is so gosh darn good. If you're ever wondering why you only see Pulse Armor and not Assault Armor, that's why. Because it makes it so you are dying in 2 staggers and not 1, guaranteed every time. Unless they have Assault Armor. Then you have to PA early, and that's a whole different story. So, we're going to go take this game in the ranked a little bit. I did have a really fun match in that video I recorded when I actually just didn't record with my audio, which is kind of annoying. That I might put in as well against a Pikachu build, which was very, very funny. It was like a Krennic stun gun build. So this is actually that fight that I was talking about just a moment ago. I didn't record my audio because I'm a dummy head, but you see we have a Pikachu build with like I'm pointing at the freaking plushie. But with dual stun guns, they've got a shield, they've got a Krennic, or the MLT06, and they got a Krennic. It's not the regular egg shield build that we've known to, you know, fight in 1.06.1, but I just wanted to show this fight off. I think actually, is that the person I fought next? Actually, that might be. That'd be kind of funny. But anyway, we see like we basically start off by trying to get as close to our opponent as possible because we want those laser orbits to hit. We want those ducats to hit. You know, put the laser orb back. You kind of have to mother it a little bit, not as much as you do Huxley, but you still got to make sure it doesn't go down at the wrong time. Because if it goes down at the wrong time, then you just messed up. You can see I'm doing that the LRB charge thing. Well, I am trying to make sure that my arm is raised so I can actually hit the LRB, and I'm just making sure these ducat shots line up. You have to be really careful with your ducats. You shouldn't just mash the trigger, because like if you're reloading right next to your opponent, that stagger you've missed out on, which is just unfortunate. You can see why Krennic is so gosh darn good on egg, because my shield is just getting absolutely messed up. If you don't know, stun guns really have to worry about shields because you can't actually gain electricity buildup while your shield is open. As you can see, my stun bar didn't go anywhere. We get our stagger here, and that should be game. I actually did end up okay, that's something I have to realize. I keep getting really close to my opponent and then pulling the trigger on LRB, which means that they're inside the LRB model, which means I'm barrel snuffing myself, which is just really unfortunate. I think I'm explaining that right there in the clip, where I'm just like, yeah, I'm an idiot. I got really close. The LRB's really long. It just shot behind them because I'm dumb. Anyway, here we go. With the second match against the stun gun gamer. The point of these videos is just to kind of show off how the build works and how you can play it. I know I'm not fighting against like an actual like tier 1 meta build, but I'm also not a tier 1 meta player, so you know, it's like I am, as you can probably tell, if you're really, really good at this game and you're watching this content, you're like, damn, this guy sucks. Look, homie, I just commentate. I am not a top tier player. I know a lot about the game, not really great at playing it. As you can tell by me red lighting 20B yet again, because I am just a master of Armored Core 6. But anyway, as you can see, I'm kind of backing away, walking away. I shouldn't be doing that. I should be holding up my shield and just you know, chipping away at the PA with Ducket. Ducket actually does a lot of PA damage. It's kind of weird, but that is game. As you can see, they actually went for a kick there, which rooted them in place, and that's why they got hit by the LRB at the end. Anyway, now we're gonna get back to Striker, but he's live. Oh shoot, it's another Toku Robo. Wait a moment. That's kind of dope. Wait a second. Yo, let's go. Dude, I'm down. Why the hell not? It looks like they it's looked like the same thing, but they have barrel head, which is very strange. But here we are, I guess. Is this the same guy he just fought? It might be. It's kind of funny. Yeah, they're just hitting ducats a lot better than I am. That's the problem, I think. Ooh, I got the stagger first, though. I'm a red line here, but I'm gonna try to reset my stagger. Yeah, that's the laser orbit coming in the clutch. Let's go! 450 AP left. Let's go. Hell yeah. Good game, my friend. Good game. Hell yeah. Toku Robo be Toku Robo. Let's fucking go. That's fun. I like that. Yeah, you just gotta hit the ducat. I think that's the problem. I have to be a lot more patient. I gotta hit the fucking ducat. I overheated my fucking LRB like a dummy head. Oh, let's fucking go, dude! I have learned the build! I have learned how to Toku Robo! Let's fucking go! I have done it! I have learned how to Toku Robo! Hell yeah! Let's fucking go, dude. That was awesome. This build is really, really cool and very fun. I hope y'all do genuinely try it out. Because I think, look, okay, I know everyone wants to do their own spin on things. I mean, I'm doing it myself by trying the Toku Robo setup with, like, Moonlight Redshift. It's actually a really fun build. I'm having a lot of fun with it. But, like, it's just a Stab Max biped, but with, you know, it's the Toku Robo weapon setup with Ducat Orbit, but it's got Moonlight Redshift, and it's on VB20C instead of 20B. It's just a lot of fun. And honestly, gamers, like, try stuff out in this game. It's fun. Like, try meta builds. And then once you understand how they work and why they work, fucking make your own thing. Just have fun. Because you never know. Like, Pillager, who's a good friend of mine, who was actually on the leaderboard. I believe they're number 48. Yeah, right there. Actually, no, number 50. Look at that. Pillager right here was talking about the Moonlight Redshift build, and he was like, that kind of feels like Rat Knight, which is like a build that CNET used. I actually have a whole podcast on that back when the game first came out. But it feels like Redshift might be a Rat Knight replacement for like Hammer, because Hammer got nerfed. So I might have been onto something with that, because it seemed to work really well in fight clubs last night. So like, play a meta build, learn how it works, and then make some adjustments, and we get to however you want to play the game. That is the biggest takeaway you can get from like Armored Core 6, is once you understand why like the top tier meta builds work, you can then make adjustments and make something cool, and make something that you really enjoy playing. Hell, you might just enjoy playing like this build. Like Toku Robo is a really fucking cool build. Neo Statue, really goddamn cool build. And like this is a Harris Ducat 3PM VPM lightweight rifle kite. I might be playing this next time. Like this got like top 8 on the ranked leaderboard. All you lightweight players that are like, damn, this game is so unbalanced. I hate this video game because lightweights are bad. People are making these two builds work. And these two builds, last time I checked, 62K is a lightweight. They're also like knocked leg builds. Like, really cracked JP players are making lightweight builds work. And they're really goddamn scary, even. So, try it out. 1.7.1 is a really cool patch. I think it's done a lot of good things for the game. So I will see y'all tomorrow for that tournament. Please show up. Join the Discord down below. It's also a Twitch channel link down below if you want to catch me live. I do fight clubs sometimes, and I do tournaments every Saturday. So y'all check those out. And I will see you gamers next time. Goodbye.